was maybe 6 years old, my cousin got a Nintendo, which I was extremely jealous of, and I played Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, which just seemed like amazing. No one understood how it worked. And then I think when I was 12 years old, I got a Game Boy, and I killed it at Tetris and Dr. Mario. Actually, when I got the Game Boy, it was from a family relative, and it kind of disappeared after a couple months, and I'm not sure why, and no one has fessed up to it. I'm the director of XR research at Unity Labs, and my team's goal is to make it easier for people to bring to life the world that they want to bring to life. It could be a game, it could be an experience, it could be like a movie-esque cinematic experience, but we want you to be able to take what's in your head and put it out there. I think that there are certain stereotypes around the kind of worlds that are created that appeal to certain types of groups. And I don't even think, it's not even a gender thing, I would say. I think it's very much an aesthetic taste. There's a lot of different aesthetics out there. There's sci-fi and there's historical and so on. And I think that we're starting to see games stretch out into these other areas in a way that I really like. And I think that is because the teams are getting more diverse, more voices are being heard, people with different tastes are being allowed to build the worlds that they want to build. I think the best way to become more diverse is to have more people going out there and talking about it. Like, for example, this initiative is a great initiative. It's a great way for people to have someone talking about working in the field and have people say, I could do that too. Right? That's the number one thing. The number two thing, maybe even the more important thing, is that if you are working with underrepresented groups on your team, lift them up. Do help them, do mentor them. And I don't just mean give them some advice. I mean like actively advocate for their career, have them attend meetings, get them in front of the CEO, do things to actually improve their chances of success. And I think that there's a lot of talk of mentorship, but there aren't a lot of really concrete actions that people take to make sure that people get the support they need to excel in their career. I once heard that the best way to start running was to start calling yourself a runner, because motivation theory and identity are related to what you will actually do during the day. And I think a lot of people might not want to call themselves a gamer either because they feel ashamed that they play too many games, or that they don't play enough, or that they're not good enough. But I think most people are gamers because games are freaking awesome. So I think that maybe there's a bit of stigma. I think it will change over time in the same way nerds used to really be people who like Star Wars, but now everyone likes Star Wars. So yeah, it's a matter of time. My inspiration actually is largely the people that aren't able to create right now and that are really confused about what it is that we do, because I think they are really our target audience. When I talk to people who think that game making is hard, that think that 3D is hard, that computers are hard, I really feel that augmented and mixed reality and virtual reality are the keys to getting people away from thinking that it's so difficult. In the same way that many people don't program, but almost everyone has used a visual graphic user interface, or GUI, this is the next step to getting people from thinking that this seems complicated and difficult and tricky, which it is, to being able to use it just as seamlessly and easily as they use an iPad today. So to me, this is just the next step in spatial computing, or next step in computing to spatial computing. So that, for me, is probably my number one inspiration for the work that my team and I do. My advice is A, just apply. Also, try to find someone at the company that you already know or that can give you an introduction. It's always best to have at least two ways of getting in there. Once you're in there, A, don't apologize for any of your work, go for it, and you control the narrative of your own work. If during the conversation it becomes clear that they think you might not have the skill set and you know you do, tell them that. Tell them the story of how you can do the job. We know that there's some intrinsic bias when it comes to interviews, so make sure you control the narrative about yourself.